Today I'm going to share 2 rituals to support you today in solstice. Because the truth is, today in solstice, it might not be such a happy day. Because solstice, winter solstice, marks the day where the sun is the lowest in the sky and there are the least number of sunlight hours in a day. And because we are light beings, as I shared about in one of the days of the 12 days of lives that we are currently in, we feel that. We feel that there's less light present. And there are different spiritual meanings to winter solstice and summer solstice, and I'm going to share about them today to support you during this time of transformation. We are in such a powerful time of transformation right now with the solstice portal and just with what's happening on the planet right now. And so interestingly, within the 12 days of lives, we had the biggest solar flare there ever was hit the planet. So if you've been feeling emotional, it is okay. It is normal. Do not worry about it. Just go with it and be present with it. So I want to first go into the explanation of solstice, and then I will share the rituals with you. And I just did both rituals myself personally. And they're super easy. Even if you have no ritual experience, it's going to be like so easy for you. So a long, long time ago, humans lived in harmony with the earth. They lived with the cycles of nature. They lived in accordance with the seasons. And most importantly, they lived in accordance with the sun. So much was guided by the sun. And the sun was always considered a very spiritual element in the matrix of reality. So much so that a holiday was created for the sun. And that was called solstice. And this is because the sun is the life-giving force of our planet. It is food for humans, animals, plant life, for all of existence on earth. And that's why the Egyptians worshiped the sun gods, and many different civilizations worshipped the sun and the sun gods. So much so that they even built the pyramids. Like even Chichen Itza is built in such a way so that certain shadows cast on the solstice. And rituals were created around the sun. And so much thanks was given to the sun because of the abundance in our life. All of the cornucopia of the food that is produced in the abundance of nature with the plant life and the many different organisms of existence on this planet, it's really all thanks to the sun. And then somehow humans broke away from that. And we started creating our own calendars, and we started creating months that were out of sync with the moon. Like there are 13 moons in a year. If every month was 28 days, every single month would be in sync. Our lives would be so much easier. There wouldn't be a leap year. We would know which day of the week would be on which day. It would be so simple, and it would be so in cycle with nature. And so the new earth is really about a return to that connection to our planet Earth. And it's such an exciting time because so many of us are returning. One of my most popular YouTube videos, I talk about women being in cycle with the moon and what it means when you have your cycle on the full moon or the new moon, etc. And so we're coming back to this, honoring it. And I'm so happy for social media because it allows for solstice to be more mainstream. Sandeep, hello. So if you have any questions if you're watching live, you can always ask them, but I'd like to go straight into the transmission. And if you're catching the replay, of course, you can always share comments and questions on the comments of the replay video as well. So that gets us into what does solstice spiritually mean? So from a science perspective, winter solstice means when the sun is the lowest in the sky and there are the least number of days of the year. So we are in the dark phase of the earth cycle, the time of death. Winter is a time of death, of hibernation. And then when we're in summer solstice, the sun is the highest in the sky. There are the most number of hours of light, and the sun is the strongest, and we're celebrating the abundance and the harvest. So everything is blooming, everything is blossoming, and it's more of an abundant, joyous energy. Whereas winter solstice, there can be melancholy and sadness because it's a time of death. But it's also powerful because the winter solstice is a rebirth portal, death and rebirth. So it's a time that you can go into the shadows and bring the shadows to light. So this is a very powerful time for healing. It's a very powerful time to go within. And it's no wonder that sometimes people can feel melancholy around the holidays. As much as it's joyous, a big population also experiences different types of sadness for different reasons. And even a lot of family triggers can come up. So a lot of our shadow comes up to be looked at around winter solstice. So to support you in this portal time, I want to share with you 2 rituals, and these will help you to create more space and bring in even more light. And you want to create space for light. And it's interesting because right before I came on, I have someone new in my 40 days of Kali experience. And that offering, that is a 40-day online offering. And she was talking about all this frustration and these more shadow emotions that are arising for her. And she commented like just now, like, so on solstice, she's feeling like this resistance and these triggers and this frustration and this anger. And Kali is an amazing container to work through your shadows. And I've been called to do another round of 40 days of Kali. So if you want to go deeper into your shadows, I invite you to connect with me about 40 days with Kali. There's the past version, and then there'll be the live version that we're going to start today. And it's on pre-sale because I have, like, my team hasn't even launched graphics or anything. So what you can do though right now, and if you're catching this the day after solstice, winter solstice, don't worry, you're still in the solstice portal for 3 days. So 3 days before and 3 days after is the window. So at any point from today into 2 more days, you're good. So the first ritual I recommend is one to clear out densities, lower vibrations, distorted ways of being, shadow elements, any aspect of self-awareness that you have that sabotages you, that hurts your relationship, that hurts you. It can be thought forms, it can be ways of thinking, it can be ways of being, it can be things that you've said, it can be things like, even things today that I wrote. And so what you do is, and I did this right at sunrise, before, like as the sun was coming up, I took a piece of paper, I pulled it out of the notebook. So you don't want it in the notebook, you want to, or just like computer paper. And so you pull it out, and then on this sheet of paper, you write down everything you are going to release and let go of that you wish for transmutation and transformation into more light for your greatest becoming. And you literally, with full humility, you write down every single thing that you know is a shadow aspect of yourself that you're willing to let go of, that you're willing to transform, that you're willing to heal, that you're willing to see in a new way. And they can be things like anger and rage and frustration, disappointment. It can be things like things that you may have said that were not kind. It could be anything. And so you sit there and you write it all down, you get it all out. It can be things like righteousness. It could be things of doubt, self-doubt. It could be in any ways that you hide or dim your light. Literally anything. Anything that you think of that's preventing your greatness, that's preventing your greatest becoming, that's preventing you from embodying and expressing the fullness and the truth of who you are. You write it all down. Then when you feel complete, you roll it up and you start to cleanse yourself with it, because sometimes we have sensations in the body and we're not really sure what they are. So it's like you're collecting all of those sensations, and then you get a match. It's better, you don't want to use a lighter. If you're going to use a lighter, then better to get a piece of paper and light the paper, because you don't want to have that energy of everything you're purging to go into the lighter. So you use the match and then you light it on fire. You can use a ceramic bowl, a glass bowl, a metal bowl to catch it. You can throw the ashes in nature or you flush them. Then you wash your hands. And then you either go in the sea, go in a lake, go in a river, or take a shower or a bath. A salt bath is better than a shower. And if you have a salt scrub and a shower, that's a better shower. But you just allow the water. So you used water and fire to purify and clear out these energies. Next, the universe doesn't like a vacuum in your body. So anytime you release something, you always want to replace it with something else. So imagine, not even imagine, it's kind of like you're going to go out there and you're going to eat the sun. But now this, I waited and I did until high noon. So right before I came live, I did this part of the ritual. So this part of the ritual is literally about bringing more light in. So there is the sun, it's shining bright in the sky, and you go out and you allow it to shine down upon you. The other thing is I'm wearing all cream and white today. So black is an insulating color. On the day of solstice, you want to receive all of the photons. You want to receive all of the energy of the sun. So very specifically on solstice, you always want to wear white or cream, ideally. And you want to make sure you have time that you go out and you bask in the sunlight for some hours, for some time. And now here's the ritual part. So you stand in the sun and you have your palms face outwards because there are energy centers on your hands that collect the photons, just like they're also in your eyes. And if the sun feels very strong, you can absolutely close your eyes because we can absorb the sunlight through our eyelids. It's very thin skin. And so as you're standing in the sun, you start to, like you're sucking in the light, and you visualize the light sucking into every cell of your being, every space, like you're filling like a bottle. You're absorbing all the sun. So first you do it physically, and then through your central column, you really just visualize the light so bright and white. And then you start to pull the sun energy with your consciousness. It's like you're eating it. You're sucking all that life force from the sun, and you start to let it surround you and fill your entire aura, all the energy space around you. And you pull all of that energy in and you feel yourself shining bright like the sun. And you do it 360 degrees around you, all in your body, ground to the center of the earth. And then I see someone's writing something. Hi, get to know fruit. Okay, someone's sharing their app. Okay, and then next, what I like to do is I imagine like picking as if it's ripe fruit. I pick the sun and then I place it into every major energy center. So we have 7 major energy centers through the midline of the body. So we pick the sun and we turn the volume up in the root energy center, pick the sun, turn the volume up and place it into the sacral energy center, pick the sun and place it into the solar plexus area, turning the volume full blast, again picking the sun, placing it into the heart center, again into the throat, again into the third eye, again into the crown. And then visualizing my hands. And we also have minor chakras or energy centers behind the neck. So I like to do the same because that's a common place where other energies can come in. And then behind each shoulder blade. And so now I am radiant with the sunlight. And I feel that and I ground it and I allow it to be. And I am that light. I am that I am that I am. And I stand there and I feel my radiance. So it's a receiving of it and then the emanation of it as it. So you become that radiant, strong light. Beautiful. So now I hope and I trust that you will do these rituals. If you want to go deeper into rituals, I have my rituality course where I share all different kinds of rituals with the elements. If you want to deepen in your shadow work and really clear and heal a lot of shadows through grace, I recommend my 40 Days of Kali, either the one we just had the one that's starting now, or you can do a bundle of both. Reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow for day 11. Happy solstice, big kiss, and bye for now.